welcome. This is Ruth, and today I've got a really beautiful little collection of foils, dies, stamps and 3D embossing folders that I want to share with you from Tonic Studios. Now, these were released relatively recently, but I've been really busy and I just haven't got around to using them yet. But today we're going to put all that right. I may not go through them in depth just the way you normally expect, but if you do come back and have a look, there will be further videos showing how to use these in different ways, but I'll try to cover most of the ways that I have in mind just at the moment as well. So first of all, foils. Tonic have never had foils before, so this is really exciting. And these are luxury craft foils. I've really only opened this one to have a little look inside, but there are 5 feet by 16.4 feet, which is 127 millimeters by 5 meters on each little roll. And we've got emerald green, polished gold, rose gold, ruby red and chrome silver, and those look really beautiful together. They actually look quite festive, but when you use them separately they can be used for any occasion at all. Now, these little foil fusion adhesive sheets are made to be used with them, so you can actually foil these little flowers. And then in this die set here, which was released at the same time, we've got lots of sentiments, but we've also got dies here which cut out these flowers as well. So all of those can be used together, but in that little die set there too, we've got 25 dies, foliage and simple sentiments. So we've got congrats, hello, sweet, thanks, friend, hugs, you and yay, along with some little flowers and leaves. And then these little areas here are actually designed to go along with these little stamps. Now, I'm not going to read these out, but they are really lovely little stamps. On your big day, you're a ray of sunshine, you're in my thoughts. These actually cover lots and lots of different occasions, and you can see on the back there, if you want to just pause the video, you can read exactly what's in them. So I'm going to have a look at those, but I really loved these 3D embossing folders that are also released at the same time. Now, I have taken them out of the packaging, but they're 5 by 7, and you can see I've already used them here just to see what they look like. So this one is called the Botanical Beauty. It's 3D, so the embossing is at different levels, and I've just embossed it on white there just to show you how that should look. And the deboss side looks really gorgeous as well. So there's so many different ways you can use these. This one then is 5 by 7 as well, and it's called the Bed of Blossoms, and it's a much smaller flower but absolutely perfect for backgrounds. This one I reckon would make a beautiful statement on a card. You only need a simple sentiment or something like that across the front of it, and there's your card made already without any effort. But I want to use this to add some foiling on, and I'll probably use this as well with some inks and different things like that. But I have got my little pen here, and I'm going to try this out first of all, so let's hope this works. This is a medium blue pen from Tonic. It's one of the little Nouveau ones, and I'll just take the top off here. Let me just move it like that. I have already activated this by pumping it up and down just like that to bring the adhesive to the front, and you'll know that it's ready to use whenever the tip of it is blue. Just make sure there's no excess glue on it, because you don't want it sort of coming out on blobs there. So what I'm going to do for this one is just add some little fine streaks like that from the center, sort of radiating out on those petals like that. So you can see there how I've added this sort of coming in lines out from the center, and then I've added some in here as well. Now, they might be a little thick, so we'll work that out whenever I try this with the foil. But I've gone along with the broad side of the tip of this pen and just gone down some areas there. Now, I haven't done it all because I want this to be quite selective, but I'm now going to take just the side of the pointed part there and do some areas here. And then I am actually going to let this dry a little bit. I'll help it along with my heat gun actually, just to keep it moving, and then I'm going to add some foil. I've got some of the rose gold foil now, and you can actually just cut a piece that would fit right across there, but I'm not going to do that because I don't really want to waste all the bits in the middle. So I'm going to just trim off piece that I think sort of big enough, like so. And then don't forget that it's got to be foil side up. So we're just going to place this on here, and then I can move it back and forwards and use the areas that I haven't used in the first place to pick up the glue on the next part. So that glue is still, it's what is really termed as dry, but it's quite tacky when it dries. So you can just go ahead and do this. Now you can take the little rounded edge of your bone folder as well and do that. Just make sure that all those little areas are covered with the foil, and then when you can see that they're attached there, then you can lift it off. But don't worry, because you can set the foil back down on it again and have a second or third go at it. So long as there's adhesive there, it's definitely going to pick up that foil. Isn't that beautiful? Now I can actually go back and look at this and add some more. So I see a little bit there that I would like some foil on, and maybe some areas down here because the foil seems to be sort of at the top end of the embossing folder there. So I'm just going to go back in again, and at this point, or at any point even, you could go back and use a different colour. Either way, it would look really beautiful. I'm going to stay with the colour I'm using at the moment. But look, I've used all of this up. I just go back over some bits that looked like they weren't totally solid, and I can use all these little areas. So there's no waste with this whatsoever. I'm very, very happy with the way that looks now. But then with all of the burnishing, I've still got the embossed detail on it, but I really want to just make that pop again. So all I'm going to do is pop it right back into the embossing folder, and you can feel exactly where it goes. It sort of locks into position there. And if you wanted, you could even put a little bit of tape along here. I'm happy enough with how that is, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine again. So it will go on the green plate and then the raspberry plate. I usually just pop it in at an angle like that, set it down and put it through my tangerine. I'm going to add this onto the front of a 5x7 card, possibly with a layer in below that, but I thought I might like to add some of these on top and give them a little bit of dimension. So I'm just going to cut out, I think some of the smaller ones might be better if I'm just going to add them into that folder. So we'll go with maybe this one. Out, and now I'm going to lay them on top of some white card, because obviously the background of my embossing folder is white, so I'm going to lay that down there. Leave a little gap in between, because obviously I'm going to die cut these at the end, and I'll put that one down there, and then I'm going to burnish these right onto that and then remove the top layer and pop that there. Now at this stage you'll need to burnish them really, really, really well, just to make sure you've got all of the adhesive onto your white card there. Now I'm just laying some of this foil down directly on top, and don't forget, face up again and on there. Now you can see a little bit poking out from there which hasn't been covered, but not to worry about that, because I can do that afterwards. There's no waste with this, so you just move the foil over and carry on. Now I can just go ahead with the little die and place it in the cutting side down right on top of those and cut those out. If you like, you can hold on to these pieces and die cut those and use them as well. You'll obviously need to attach them onto some card to stabilize them too, but I'm going to go ahead with these and cut these out. cut the dies out, you'll be able to see that there's a little outline left here. That's okay, that's how it's supposed to be. That's called the bleed, so that you get the precise amount of foil on the outside edge of your little flowers. So I've got that, and I'm going to sort of just emboss that slightly, give it a little bit of a shape with my embossing tool. I think I'll maybe do the back of it first, just like this, and I'll do this with all three and then pop it down in the center just to give a little bit of dimension to that, and that will look really, really beautiful on there. I'm not going to glue them on yet until I work out where that's going to be, but I think I will actually just go ahead now and add this to my 5x7 card. Now I was going to leave it white, and then I thought maybe I'll put some rose gold card behind it, but I came on this Italian rose, and I think although it's not exactly the same colour, it just warms that up really, really beautifully, and it looks lovely on there. I never like to waste any of my card, so I'm just going to pop this in here to my little trimmer and take the centre of it out. I'm not even going to measure it very carefully, but I just think I'll cut a piece out of that and I'll be able to use those areas for something else, and I'll still have plenty in my card. That's it all attached, and I'm sure you've heard me say before, if you want a kind of cohesive look and have your card all going together, don't just put one colour on and don't have it anywhere else in the card. That's how I feel anyway. So I have cut this out of the Italian rose card to match the background layer. I've also cut out the little white part here, and I'm going to glue those together and add them on here on some 3D foam pads. And I'm just going to use my little precision nozzle here because that will just be perfect for all the little narrow parts that I need here. Rather than have these sort of spread out over the card, they still would look nice, but I think just to have them in a little cluster would look even better because it sort of gives them a little focal point and makes them stand out just a little bit more. So I'm going to pop them just above my sentiment right there. Back then to the second embossing folder, and I've just added some little streaks and bits of the adhesive from this little pen again onto the bigger flowers on this one, and you can see here this is going to be a much more distressed kind of look. I'm not going for a full coverage at all on this one, so it's really just pressing down on those areas again, and I'll make a lovely little card out of this. But I can chop this one down as well. It doesn't even have to be the full 5x7 size. Gone back into the centres of these little flowers now, and I've added the little glue pen again and then dried it off with my heat gun, and I'm going for a different colour. So I'm actually taking the gold now, and you can see how you can just layer up those different colours. So we've got the gold, and then we've got the, I'm not familiar with all the names yet, but the rose gold on the outside, and then the other gold in the centre. I think I might have got a little bit carried away on that one and added maybe too much colour onto it. May not be just as nice as I had expected it to be. In fact, I actually was going to try some green on the leaves, and then I thought, no, that might be just too much. And I've added some silver on, and it is actually still quite nice, but it's not as elegant looking as this one, I think, because there's just the two colours. I prefer that to all of the colours, but please let me know down in the description what you like as well. And instead of adding the little flowers this time, I've taken the little leaf die and I have foiled it in exactly the same way as I did the little flowers for the last one. And I'm just going to pop this, let me see, in here somewhere. I think there might be nice. So the congrats is from the die set as well that I showed you earlier, and I've popped that up on the 3D foam pads. Oh, I actually do really like it now. I think I'm not used to adding so many colours onto one card. You'll probably notice that throughout any of the videos that I've made and any of the cards that I've made. I usually prefer to stick to just a couple of colours. I think it is a bit more elegant, but we all have different tastes and we have to try something different every now and again as well. Now there's loads and loads of different things to do with that. You could use all of those dies independently of each other. There's different ways of using these embossing folders. I will definitely be back with this because I want to use this with some ink and just blend it out. That would be so beautiful, like a kind of airbrushed effect. I can't actually just do any more today. I just don't have the time today, but I definitely will be back. And I think I've shown you on this that I want to use this with other products. I want to use these products along with other Tonic products and other products that you might have in your stash. So the whole thing doesn't have to just be about foil. You can add mirror card to it as well, here and here. Do incorporate it, because that way you won't just put it in a corner and say, oh yes, I might use my foil today. Incorporate it with all of your other things. If you haven't already subscribed to the video, don't forget to do that and hit the notification bell, because there definitely will be more coming along with all of these products in it. And if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment as well. My affiliate links for all of the products I've used will be down below in the description of this video. And thank you to everybody who uses those. I really do appreciate it. And in the meantime, happy crafting. Thank you. Bye bye.